Hello, tired, sad, twisted creatures of the underworld, and also people that we can't relate to. I'm Tom,
I'm Galen.
and you're watching 15 Minutes of FUME. This is a video series presented by employees of Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab, working from home or hardly working. Anyway, yesterday, some of you may have noticed that we did something that we had never done before.
We went live.
We went live on Instagram.
We were live.
We were live, y'all, for like 95 minutes.
Hours. Oh, yeah, minutes.
It was really fun. We just smelled perfumes out of a huge tray. Mystery perfumes. Answered some questions. Jinx. You owe me a Coke. What I loved about it, actually, was that it was the closest thing to feeling like I was at a Lunacy event or at a convention that I have felt in a really long time.
Yeah.
There were people that we know who said hello to us. There were people we don't know who said really questionable things to us. But, like, just getting to answer questions in the moment and make recommendations and stuff was real fun. So,
Yeah.
I think we'll try it again. You held up remarkably well.
I did. I didn't know how I would fare. I've never been live before. You know, I don't know.
Our baby was live.
I rely on my editing skills, and
I rely on your editing skills.
but I seem to be fine in the moment.
It's
Improv.
Fine
You know,
is a great way to describe what happened.
fell back on the improv training.
So speaking of lunacy, though, let's get to the matter at hand, which is that on Friday, last week, we released a whole bunch of May Lunacy perfume blends. We do this every month, but this is no longer something that we can take for granted. Nor can we take for granted that people will buy them without getting to sample them first at our events.
Yeah.
So we have them. We're going to smell them.
And we'll talk about them.
Yeah, and we're running out of time. So without further ado, let's smell a Lunacy.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. Number one.
The main Lunacy perfume blend is Milk Moon, inspired by the gorgeous full moon dubbed Milk Moon in the almanac. Every month, the moon has different historical names when we tend to vary which ones we pull from. This time it was Milk Moon.
Every now and then, the moon becomes milk.
It's made of cheese, but first it has to start with milk.
Yeah, and then it curdles.
And then it just...
You guys know how the moon works, right?
You know about the moon, right?
It's just curdled milk.
Milk from what? That's something for next week's
That's
video.
not... Yeah.
Okay, so this
Later.
is a fertile scent.
Oh.
Generous, life-affirming, etc., etc.
Does it smell like milk?
Golden honey, fig fruit, cedarwood, olive leaf, and dates. I love a fig scent, and I wish for more date scents.
Oh.
We saw a lot of comments from people who will buy anything with milk in it because it's just such a wonderfully rich, comforting scent.
A fertile scent is kind of it's a perfect description.
Yes. This reminds me of a Mother's Day story, which is that a few years ago my mother informed me that when I was a baby that she nearly drowned me in her breast milk because no one taught her how to really do it properly. And I told her that that is why I'm gay. Oh, this is like a really good, sweet, light, creamy fig and date scent.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think that you have to worry about being associated with mother's milk as you're wearing it. It's just going to be a really comforting, nurturing, inviting scent. And then from here we have the Menage A Trois scents, which I don't have to read the notes for because they're written on the label. These are kind of simple 3-note scents that Elizabeth cranks out whenever she discovers a magical combination that she thinks the world can't live without. The first one we have is Gardenia, tobacco leaf, and OAKMOSS. I don't know what Gardenia is one of those floral notes that I would have a hard time picking out. So this actually really helps because it's the only floral note in there. It's like a beautiful darkened library with the window thrown open kind of situation. Tobacco leaf is definitely less of that recognizable tobacco smell. It doesn't smell like pipe tobacco. It doesn't have that chewy smell or that like rich nicotine smell we were talking about the other day. It's really more of an herbal tobacco. And the OAKMOSS, it's actually really hard for me to pull it apart because the OAKMOSS and the tobacco leaf, I think, just like hand in glove.
Yeah.
Next we have white sandalwood, sage, and bourbon vanilla.
Woo.
This should be a relatively easy scent for people to wear if they're curious about getting involved in perfume oils. It's like 3 completely non-scary things blended together expertly. The sage is bold and right up front in the bottle.
That's sage for you, though. It's just always like...
Oh, of course. The white sandalwood, I would imagine, is going to be probably the longest lasting thing on the skin. Unless you really amp bourbon vanilla. And I'm not really getting a strong vanilla in this, but it just kind of rounds it out with a kind of a soft sweetness.
Mm-hmm. Coconut, smoked vanilla, and fig.
This is maybe like the first kind of tropical coconut that I've scented in a while since maybe the Lupercalia collection.
Maybe because of the fig, that it's kind of making it, I don't know, more of a sweet, chewier kind of coconut than...
It's all of it because the vanilla also just sweetens it, which puts it into the territory of like a coconut flavored... We have this coconut syrup that we bought in Hawaii. Yeah. Actually, I bought it when I visited forever ago, but then my ex's mother would send it to me all the time, and we still have some in the fridge, and it's incredible on pancakes, and this is that like. Coconut. Just like white and thick and creamy and edible. And then we have Darjeeling tea, cocoa dust, and incense. I was curious about this because we haven't had a really intense tea blend in a while. Is this one of them? First thing that hits me in the bottle is the cocoa.
Yeah.
But it's dust, so it's like...
But I smell the tea.
Atmospheric. It is...
What's the third? Oh, incense.
It's great because the cocoa could go like in a bitter direction, but if there's any like satisfying bitterness in here, it is from the tea. For sure.
This is like going into a tea shop, though. There is... Because of the other elements.
If you miss
the
going...
incense and the...
If you miss going into a tea shop...
Yeah.
This is it.
Whoosh.
Yes. And the final one of the Menage A Trois is frankincense, star anise, and labdanum. I had really high hopes for this one. Okay, so a really good, strong version of that licoricey scent. However, instead of going into the candy direction that we do when it shows up in Yule and other collections, because of the frankincense, it really pulls it away from that. It's more like when you have a licorice root to like chew on. Have you done that before?
No.
Well, people do that. But it's more of that like earthy, sharp, like minty, herbal style. What was the third note again?
Labdanum.
Labdanum.
No, I don't really know what that smells like, but I assume it's kind of like
There's like a dark medicinal quality.
Yeah, medicinal
to this.
And like kind of woozy.
Woozy is a great way to put it. This is like a whole different magic shop. Mm-hmm. This is the one that definitely has like a curtain that you're only allowed to go behind if you pay like $30.
The craft.
Even she was too much of a white lighter.
She'll show you what's behind the curtain at the end if you really need it.
It's both because life is both. Okay, well, we're going to try these on and see what happens.
You must invoke the spirit.
And we're back. Let's go to the Milk Moon. Where's the Milk Moon portion of your body? You found it? Okay. Whoa.
I'm in a field.
It is kind of,
I've never heard so much mooing.
It's kind of rich and earthy and mild.
Yeah.
A lot of our earthy scents have like a lot of intense root and plant scents. And this is, it's not excessively fruity with the fig and the date. There's still kind of earthy notes.
Really grassy?
It is kind of strangely grassy, but mild.
Yeah.
It does not have like a sharp green note at all, just kind of very rich and sweet and comforting. Honestly, it reminds me of visiting my grandparents' farm in Montana. In only the good ways. The first Menage that we have is Gardenia, Tobacco Leaf, and Oak Moss, which I have here. Wow, this is a whole different farm. And that overall it's just kind of a, like, green and earthy and splendid.
A little bit more like hothouse because of the gardenia. Just because
Yes.
it is that kind of a hazy flower.
But still kind of cool and shady, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a warm summer day. You're not dying.
No.
But
you're observing
the flowers are
a warm summer day
there.
from the comfort of the patio.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what's next?
White sandalwood, sage, and bourbon vanilla. Hua!
How could I go wrong here? I feel like this is meant to be worn with Milk Moon. And perhaps because of having that further down my arm, it's nice because actually you do get like a bit of a sharpness of the sage.
Yeah.
But it's so mellow.
I feel like the way that I'm smelling it feels like a Venn diagram. You got white sandalwood, and then you have bourbon vanilla, and in the middle is sage. Because I'm kind of like, I am able to kind of just travel along with it as I smell it.
Concepts. There's a concept.
I have a concept.
Okay, and then next?
Coconut, smoked vanilla, and fig.
Smokier on the skin than in the bottle for sure. Still in the gourmand territory, but it is the smoky quality comes out and gives it almost like a dustier quality.
It doesn't smell as tropical on me as it did in the bottle. No.
Yeah, edible. Not as tropical. And then next,
Soft, hazy pastures.
this is the Darjeeling tea, cocoa dust, and incense.
Okay. I just smell tea.
I'm getting more of the incense, to be honest. But it's still like a kind of a dark, shuttered up kind of store, like we were talking about, you know? I do like, though, that there's kind of like a bit of that sour tang, you know, of like the concentrated tea smell.
Yeah.
But mostly I'm getting a kind of like a dusty incense. And the cocoa dust is MIA at this point. I don't really know where that went. Okay, and then last but not least, we're going to smell the frankincense, star anise, and labdanum. Oh. Wow, this is a whole experience. I think this is my favorite one out of the bunch. The frankincense is really kind of gently nudging the anise out of the spotlight.
I like all of these together because there's that nice sweet powderiness.
Well, I don't think I'm getting anything like that.
I am.
It might be the frankincense, I bet, though.
Yeah.
Caught in my...
I'm definitely smelling the frankincense. And I think because of that and like the sweetness of the labdanum and the...
Oh, that labdanum could go powdery on you. I can see it. Do you want to smell mine? See if it's different.
It is different. Mine is sweeter and a little greener.
It is. It's like brighter. Yours is like a kind of a, like almost brassier scent.
Nice though.
Well, I love what it's doing on me. It really is a kind of like a bit of a forbidding herbal scent. It's like no nonsense. That hint of sweetness that you get from chewing on the licorice root, like I was talking about before, but it never. The thing why I don't do that is it's just not sweet enough to really scratch the itch. Because like if I'm eating licorice, of course what I'm really craving is sugar, probably. Unless it's that salty kind, I'm blabbering. I'm just really excited about this scent because I haven't smelled anything like it from us in a really long time. There was that one Yule from forever ago that was like the coal. It was like maybe the naughty or nice one. I don't know. Something that was like soot and licorice that I really liked. And even that was in a more edible realm than what I'm smelling now. So I'm going to wear this all day.
To your funeral that you're going to after this?
The funeral is for my social life.
Oh.
So that's what we have today. We're going to do the Twilight Alchemy Lab release separate with a whole bunch of other Twilight Alchemy Lab reviews for people who are curious about that. And these are the Lunacy blends. See you on Instagram Live. If you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to us at this point, what are you doing?
You just click the button.
What are you doing? What are you doing to us? Just think about what you're doing.
You're hurting our feelings.
And that's all the time we have for today. Until next time.